This is Tampa Home Talk. I'm your host, Katrina Madewell, hanging with my favorite sidekick, Mr. Leo Kane.
From Beryl Engineering and Inspection. I didn't get the memo today to wear a skirt to the show.
We had to kick Adam out because we got a full house today. We're like, Adam, you got to call in.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting show. So we are officially kicking off parade season here in the greater Tampa Bay area.
That's right. And when you live in Tampa, it's a season.
It is a season because there are 5 separate parades that all make their way through the greater Tampa Bay area. Bayshore becomes run amok with floats.
Yeah, so we have, this week, we're featuring Crew of Brigadoon in the house. So say good morning to our crew members. If you're watching live on Facebook, to my left, maybe you're right, I have Mr. Robert Smith. He is our current president of Crew of Brigadoon. Welcome.
Thank you.
And then right next to him, we have Mr. Brent Freeze. I'm not sure what all you do, but you can share with the listeners what your role is.
All the above.
Past board member and anything that the president tells me to do.
Yeah,
Yes.
All hands on deck.
Yeah,
like how
all
it goes
hands on
down,
deck.
right?
Yeah.
And then we have my dear friend, Miss Tracy Aramati, joining us in the studio for the first time. She's actually my sponsor for the crew. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm excited to have you guys here. We're going to talk all about crew life. We're going to talk about Gasparilla. I've got the history of Gasparilla in here.
We're going to do trivia?
We're going to do trivia towards the end again. If you listened last year, it is some of the same questions, but it's okay.
That means the people who listened last year and remember can win the free tickets.
Yeah, they can. They sure can. All right. So before we dive into that, let's do some real estate chatter. We're going to talk about the numbers from this week over next. I'll tell you some of the trends that I'm seeing this week in the market, and as we're kind of rolling into January. Remember, we talked about that second week. You kind of get an idea which way the market's going to go for the new year. But the number of new listings coming on the market this week is at 710. Number of price decreases, 1,089. The number of sold listings coming in at 446, and the number of pendings at 739.
So with the exceptions of sold, which sold makes sense for being low because of the way the last month has gone, with the exception of sold, everything seems to be the way it was before the world shut down for the last couple of weeks of the year.
I think pending's up a little. Isn't that up a little over the last couple of weeks?
Well, everything's up over the last couple of weeks, but where we're at right now is we're back to beginning of December, late November numbers. But you do say January is supposed to be the strongest month once it gets rolling.
It does kick in. Well, we're seeing that absorption rate actually tick down a little bit. So if it's your first time ever listening to Tampa Home Talk, we talk about all these numbers, right? So what these numbers are is a 7-day trend for the Tampa Bay area. We follow single-family homes in our numbers that we report. So this is just a 7-day trend of single-family homes in 3 counties. So Pasco County, Pinellas County, and Hillsborough County. So when I say new listings at 710, that means 710 new single-family homes have hit the market in one of our 3 counties.
And if you're like my wife, you got to Zillow every single one of them.
Yeah, pretty much. So, so essentially we follow this to track the market to see which way it's going. And then we look at the overall absorption rate. We are down a little, like 0.25 from when we looked at it last month, because we look at it month over month, and then we look at these week over week, and then we have Florida Realtors data, which is really late.
We're still in a situation where there are more houses going under contract than there are appearing on the market.
So we are seeing multiple offers still, and I would say they're coming back a little bit more. I have a property that I just listed this week. I do funky stuff, right? We've talked about that. I do a lot of normal stuff, but I do funky stuff where I get commissioned by the courts to sell properties, and so this particular property was commissioned by the court. I'm the one that actually sets the price. We launched the listing. We had 15 offers on this property, and it's been on the market for 4 days.
Wow.
And it's borderline a teardown, I'm just saying.
You didn't put it up for enough money if you got 15 offers.
No, we did. Actually, I put it up for $25,000 higher than my valuation, where I wanted to put it up based on the condition that the property is in. And the fact that we got a full price cash offer with no inspection, it was the only one, not assignable, that tells me we hit the nail on the head with the price. We definitely did.
Good deal.
Nice.
And Abby's over there cheering because she brought
the buyer?
Yeah, she took the call for the buyer. So, all right. So essentially, if the house is priced right, you will see more than one offer. If you're on the upper end of those price points, those are going to take a little bit longer to sell. So if you're over $750 on price, over $1 million on price, those are going to take a little longer. The buyers are not as abundant, right? Which would make sense. So, in essence, our market in Tampa is still very, very strong compared to some other areas throughout the country. We are substantially stronger.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, people still want to move to Florida. People are still moving to Florida, and now these numbers are starting to rebound. the way they want, and just when you get cozy in Florida, a whole bunch of pirates take over the city.
Yeah, I mean, well, they are, and they're taking over the studio today, and we're going to chat about that for sure. One other thing I was going to say, again, if it's priced right and it shows well, we spend a lot of time setting up our listings. I have one, and again, it's a normal market, right? You don't have 25 people looking at it the first day it's on the market, knocking each other over with a line down the door. Like, we're not that market anymore. But after 3 or 4 days, like I have one in North Dade City. It's actually Hernando. It's on that weird line, like Odessa and Lutz.
Like Dade City near the Kumquat Festival?
Probably. I don't know. It's Hernando County. It could be. So anyway, they have this great property on the river that I just listed. The very first showing that we had, we got an offer on it already. So it just goes to show if it's priced correctly and it shows well and it's marketing well, you're going to get good traction on it.
So what do you think is going to happen for the rest of this month? We're through the last 3 weeks, which was all skewed data. We look like our data now is like in line with where it was end of November, early December. Where are we going from here? Is we continue to slide into seller's market? Are we going to hit towards balanced market?
We're still in a seller's market, remember? And we're dipping back down, like even deeper into a seller's market. We're almost to a balanced market. We're not quite there. Like, our absorption rate is like 4.2 supply of homes. So
that's the highest I've heard it in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, the absorption, we were almost 4.5. So the absorption rate is like basic supply and demand. So if you go, I like to use hurricane season, right? Like, if you go to buy water any other time, there's plenty on the shelf. Mm-hmm. But if you go to buy water when there's a hurricane coming, there's none on the shelf. That was our real estate market 2 years ago, right? So now when you go to buy water, there's water on the shelf, but it's a limited supply because we're going into storm season, right? Think about it like that.
I got you. Yeah, we just had a major storm earlier this week with tornadoes that touched down down in South Tampa.
Which was weirdness, total weirdness.
It came out of nowhere.
So, with that being said, January is
float season.
Gasparilla season.
It is parade season.
And I want to talk about one of the things really quick before we roll to break, and then Adam's going to join us for the second segment for his insurance tip of the week. But what I was going to say is the economic impact. This is pretty crazy. Do you know what the economic impact is, Leo, for
Well, I mean, you have to think. I mean, when you think of parades, you normally think of Mardi Gras, you think of New Orleans, you think of their parade season. But Tampa boasts and hosts, I think it's the third largest parade.
You're absolutely the third largest parade. Mm-hmm. Did you guys know that? The third largest parade, you probably did, I'm sure.
I mean, it's a massive parade. Economic impact. There are people who come in from all over the country, especially other parts of Florida, to basically get blind drunk and pass out on the side of Bayshore.
So there's our local, like, economic, not the chamber, the other one that brings people in, like Visit Tampa Bay. They spent actually a lot of money to attract people. They have spent multi-million dollars over the last several years to attract people for Gasparilla season. There's over 1 million people that partake in one of the Gasparilla events, minimum, every single year. And the economic impact is huge.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think all these people need to stay in hotels. I mean, all the money that goes into the permits, the money for the extra police to be there to set up the barricades. And then these people, it's just not the one parade. They're going to hit their local grocery stores. They're going to get picnic baskets. They're going to visit the restaurants. On some of the parades, like the one that's in Ybor, the night parade, I mean, that whole district, after the parade shuts down, they have a boost of occupants into their different establishments.
Yeah, so listen, I'll spout this off really quick for economic impact. So the crowd size for parade season, for the Parade of Pirates, typically is about 300,000, making it the third largest parade in the United States, with an estimated 1 million people attending at least one of the Gasparilla events in a given year. According to several studies, the Parade of Pirates alone has a local economic impact of $20 million. Wow. And that is, combined events brings over $40 million, right? Because they have like Gasparilla Run, like there's all the things. Gasparilla, and to tie all these events together, so Visit Tampa Bay, the local tourist bureau, that's what I was trying to think of. Thank you. Has multi-million-dollar promotional campaigns across the United States, Canada, and Europe to attract visitors here for our area for Gasparilla season. So
It's a thing.
if you didn't realize how big of a thing Gasparilla is, it actually is.
Yeah,
So
it's huge.
and so I share this story all the time, being a local, like, native Tampa person. When I grew up, there was one Gasparilla parade.
Right.
That's it. There's one. No, we have like 12.
You know.
We just want to keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, aside from that,
Well,
it's,
sometimes you can't make the one parade on the 27th because you're busy at Kumquat Festival, and you like the idea that you have other parades on other sides. And if you miss all those parades, you got the St. Patrick's Day parade.
That's true.
yeah, so it's estimated that 1.5 million attendees will actually attend annually, and actually the children's parade has a larger turnout than the night parade. I don't know if you realize that.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well,
that's what it says.
That I can believe that, because you got to think, if the night parade you got adults showing up only, and the children's parade you got children. So I mean, if every adult has 2.5 kids, you're going to have the numbers there.
Makes sense. So Crew of Brigadoon is our crew in the house this week, and we have to roll to a break shortly. But before we do, I want to introduce you guys, talk about how long the crew has been around, some of the charities that you guys support, and that sort of stuff. Okay. So you want to jump in? Is it 20 years? Do I have that right?
Yes, 2024 will be our 20th year. The Career Brigadoon started in 2004.
Okay.
2004, so we're celebrating our 20th year with the crew. I've been in the crew for 5 years now. Right?
5 years as well.
5 for you, and
5 for me.
Tracy.
Since 2016.
So you're longer.
I'm longer than you are.
She's longer than you guys.
She's a veteran. Yeah, she'll love it. Absolutely.
Tracy for president.
Right.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Come on
She's
down.
retired now. You know, she might be able to do
Just
that.
time. Yeah, just time. Absolutely.
So were you guys a part of any other crews before you joined Brigadoon?
We were not. I was not.
So I joined the crew when I was 21. Fresh out of college, I joined my first crew was the Unsinkable crew of Molly Brown.
Oh.
Under Nancy Peterson and Pete Peterson. And that was my first dip into crew life.
Okay.
But prior to that, being a Tampa native as well, I would always
Not many of us.
we're rare. I would attend the parades yearly. You know, on Bayshore, I would go like, wow, you know, how do I join a crew? How do I join a crew? How do I join a crew? And I was fresh out of college, and I had the opportunity to join the crew of Molly Brown, and that just changed everything for me.
Nice.
Yes.
Can I give you a little tidbit?
Absolutely.
My first crew was Molly Brown.
Really?
Yes.
How about that?
Yep.
Oh, good to know. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what's your favorite part of crew life?
Oh, just the
Whoever wants to jump in.
camaraderie for me. Everybody is just, I don't know.
Brent, what about you?
I think it's the twofold, right? I think it's this crew in particular. We have 4 different charities that we raise money for all year long. So it feels really good to get the warm and fuzzies from raising money, but it also feels really good to get the warm and fuzzies from having a good time. So it's that twofold. I can have a good time and feel good about having a good time because my time and money and treasure is going out to the charities that we have.
Sure.
Correct.
Yeah. What about you, Robert? What's your favorite part?
I would say similar to Brent. With essentially crew life, this is where we come out and we play. You know, this is our you hang your hat up, you hang your 9-to-5 hat up, and you come out and you enjoy your time with your friends. And being able to do that and hang out with your friends and dance in the streets and further get to know each other while raising money for your charities is wonderful. That's one of the things.
It's like a family, right? And
Absolutely.
all crews are not created equal, so is the
No.
word on the streets.
That is true.
No. We're pretty fortunate.
But I love how friendly and warm and just amazing everybody is with the crew, I have to say.
Yeah, we actually like
You
each
know.
other.
Yeah.
We
That's a
really
good
like
thing
each
to
other.
have.
But also, to your part, Brett and I have been friends for
Longer than I
12
can
years.
count. Longer than I care to count.
Yeah, for
right.
quite some time prior to crew life.
We're going to roll to a quick break. We're going to chat a little bit more when we come back. Our off-air number,
813-377-2775. If you want to know the exact dates and times of all these parades, 813-377-2775. We'd love to hear from you. Text the word parade, 813-377-2775. When we come back, I believe we'll have an insurance tip of the week and I'll have the burning question of the hour to ask. Don't go anywhere.
Right. We're actually live.
we're actually live. This is
Oh, yeah.
this is being made well. We're a little bit messed up. We don't have Pat in the house. There we go. Thank you,
Let me distract
Shriner.
everyone. So we were talking about favorite parts of parades and stuff. What is a pirate's favorite part of the parade?
The people. I
Yeah.
enjoy the people.
Yeah.
Oh, a pirate's favorite part of the parade is actually the flotilla.
He's doing dad jokes.
Yes.
Every week. All right. And Mr. Adam Talley is joining us today by phone because we have a full house. Welcome, Adam. And thank you.
I know, right?
What do we have for our insurance tip of the week?
Household, you want to make sure that you get at least a policy that would cover costs for that individual. That way, if something does happen, you're, what less bill to pay for, what less thing to worry about. So, just tip of the week is to make sure you actually have some life insurance that protects you, and that's it. You guys get talking about pirates.
Yes. That's a good one. We often talk to our clients about that too, and especially if it's a younger family and you have one person that is the primary breadwinner, you always, always, always should have enough life insurance to pay off the house. You don't have enough life insurance for anything else, have enough to pay off the house. Wow. The younger you are, the cheaper it is. So.
What's the difference? What's the difference between term and whole?
So whole covers the entirety of your life, right? No matter what happens, as where term policy covers for a specific amount of time. So, like for myself, I have a 30-year term that I got. When I was 25, my goal is that by the time I'm 55, I won't need the money if something happens to me before I have it saved. So that's
right.
More of a term person, but different vehicles.
Well, there's thought that your house should be paid off by that time, right? And some basic fundamentals like that. So.
But if you're moving every 5 years, your house will never be paid off.
Well, it depends on how you're doing it. If you're using your house like an ATM, it probably won't be. I'm just saying. So, yeah, be smart. Yeah. All right, Adam Talley Insurance. Thanks for our insurance tip of the week. And with that, I love your dad joke of the week, Mr. Flotilla. All right, we're going to roll back over into Gasparilla. So, all right, so we talked about how long you guys have been a crew member. I think the next appropriate topic would be, let's talk about the charities that our crew supports, Crew of Brigadoon.
Yeah, the charities sound awesome. I thought it was just about getting drunk and running down the street, but you're telling me there's actually philanthropy involved?
There's a reason
Yeah, we raise
why
money.
they get
There's
drunk
a
and run down the
byproduct.
street.
Yeah, there's something.
There's a
we do.
byproduct.
So what's how does the crew decide? We'll talk about who the charities are, but how do you decide how the money gets split between the charities as well?
How the money gets split. So what we do now is, before we would raise money for each charity each quarter. And what changed in recent years was, because of the Dragon Party, which is tomorrow, an event that we're hosting, that seemed to be our biggest fundraiser. So therefore it wasn't fair for all of the other charities that the crew voted to support to receive the remnants of, what was left after we did that, that huge check for Dragon Party. So the crew voted to raise proceeds throughout the entire year and split those proceeds evenly through all 4 of the crews that we support.
So 4 charities that we support. And so list off the charities that we support and a quick little rundown of what they do.
Yeah, so to elaborate on your question, crew of many, not a crew of one. So we have elections every year, which is not normal for most crews, if people don't know that. So the crew, every crew member is allowed to submit a charity that they think would be appropriate for the crew. All of the charities are local, so they are not nationwide. They are
Right here in our backyard.
in Tampa Bay, correct. And so then we vote on 4 of those charities. So the top 4 charities that get the most votes are then listed for that year. And so this year we voted on Liberty Manor for veterans, Wheelchair for Kids, the Children's Dream Fund, and the Spring of Tampa Bay.
Awesome. And so, what do each of those charities do? Give me some bullet points on what each of them. So we featured Liberty Manors. They help house homeless veterans.
Correct.
What about the other 3? What do they do?
Wheelchairs for Kids. They provide wheelchairs wheelchairs and or updated wheelchairs for those that may not be able to financially afford it at the
Okay.
time. The Children's Dream Fund does amazing things. Oh my God.
What do they do, Brent? Do you know? What's their-
They donate to a sick or an illness with a child, whether it is going to Disney World or going on a trip with their family, anything like that.
I think I'm familiar.
Hockey games,
I think
right?
my mother-in-law actually did a lot of work with them as well, where she would go to Disney with the kids that were like sick and dying of cancer. Is that the same one or no?
It's
different
same
elements.
principle.
Yes, same principle, but different elements. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that's
Terminal.
Just different elements, but it gives these kids the opportunity to have that experience.
Got it.
That I believe we had one of our recipients in this past year had the opportunity to fly to Europe to see behind the scenes of a movie premiere that should be coming up. So it's just like those type things.
So once in a lifetime.
Yeah, it's like exactly. Once in a lifetime experience is what the Children's Dream Fund does.
So and the last charity?
The Spring of Tampa Bay supports women and children, women that are victims of domestic violence.
Okay.
So it provides shelter and clothing and financial resources,
educational resources, health resources.
Nice.
Great organization.
Nice.
And I love the diversification of the charities that we support. Our members actually nominate and then they get voted on.
Correct.
So I was lucky enough. I nominated Liberty Manor.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, and then when I found out they were, voted in, I was like, oh, yay.
Yeah.
So, and they're veterans, those are children, those are, so the diversification is amazing.
Absolutely.
We have to follow up with her. When I had her on, I told her, I said, we got on the
Connie,
topic of
yeah.
cooking. Remember that? And she was
Connie
like,
Lindsay,
oh, yeah, come
Liberty
cook,
Manor.
Yes.
come cook for our veterans. Like, all right, we'll do it. We're down.
She's a lot of fun.
She is a lot of fun, yeah. She's a hoot. Yeah.
So let's talk about our Dragon Party, because I want to make sure we spend ample time on that before we get into anything else. So the Dragon Party is this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yes.
It is open to the public.
It
Yes.
is.
The tickets are...
$65.
So I already bought it. I don't remember the numbers.
That's a long time ago. Right.
Is this like a Chinese New Year thing? Year of the
So
Dragon?
talk about what the Dragon Ball or party is, and it's open for everybody to come. So
Yeah.
Leo, you and Nikki could come if you
So it is our premier event. A lot of the crews in Crew Life have a ball or something that is signature to their organization. Ours is Dragon Party. So,
and so other crews also come, right? And
they
support
do.
each other.
They do.
Totally.
So it's open to the public. If you go to our public page, it's posted there. You can buy a ticket. Again, it's $65. There will be food. There will be drinks. There will be a live DJ. There will be all types of different vendors there that are a part of and not a part of Crew Life, right? So if you're looking for something for Gasparilla, or you're just looking for, someone who's going to decorate a party for you, they'll be there as well as vendors as well.
So if someone hasn't been there before, what can they expect?
A really good time.
So it's like it's a big party.
It's a big party.
It's a big party.
And it's at the Italian Club in Ybor, right across from Gaspar's Grotto. So it's right there. So if you're done with the Italian Club and with Dragon Party, you can definitely head on down to Ybor Strip and go get some food. Go grab a piece of pizza if you need it, because you probably will.
Will there be food there at the Dragon Party?
There will be. There will
Okay.
be heavy apps.
Okay.
Yep.
Heavy apps.
Heavy apps.
And put your dancing shoes on.
That's right.
There's a lot of dancing that
That's
goes
a
on
lot of
at that
dancing.
party.
It's
And-
a good time.
So this is the fundraiser that our crew counts on the most, right? In order to fund our charities, correct?
It's a heavy hitter.
It's
I would
definitely
say
heavy
it's a
hitter.
heavy
Short
hitter.
of Tartan Ball would be the second. Yes, but that is something that we share with 2 other crews.
Okay. And then we're a little bit under where we want and need to be for ticket sales, right?
Right. I think we need 50 to 70 more tickets to
Okay.
really, really hit it home for the 4 charities that we have. So anybody who wants to buy a ticket, even if you don't want to go, you can go and you can buy a ticket, and that can be your donation, or you can gift that out to a friend if you feel like they'd be interested in going.
All right. So if you're listening to Tampa Home Talk, we're going to buy 2 tickets for our listeners, and we're going to give them away on the air.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to come to Dragon Party and hang out with us, call or text Dragon to 813-377-2775. If you're listening on Facebook Live, call or text 813-377-2775 Dragon. We're going to give away 2 tickets to Dragon Party. It's $120 value.
$130.
$130.
Thank you for the quick math.
Yeah.
813-377-2775. Call or text our off-air number, 813-377-2775. We'll be right back.
Welcome home. This is Leo Kane with Beryl Engineering and Inspection, kicking out all the people who shouldn't be in the studio right now, who will be returning for the 4th segment to give us the listings. Yep, I got a thumbs up. She'll be back in a moment to give us the listings. Katrina is writing the big check right now.
I'm writing a check for I'm giving it right now to Crew of Brigadoon. This is going to be for our 2 tickets. I don't know if anyone has done that or not yet, but we'll take whoever the 10th one is.
Well, I think
that
Miss
calls or texts.
Abigail wants the tickets, so she might actually not be doing. Nope, she's over there texting people back right now.
She's trying. All
She's
right.
trying. Looks like she got one of her friends to get the tickets, didn't she? Oh no, she's on the phone with someone. This is
making
live
sure,
right now.
yeah.
She's got
She's
someone.
making sure she's a 10th one, so get in there,
Yep,
pal.
yep, she's trying. Wait,
She's after him. All right, so Crew of Brigadoon, 2 tickets for our Tampa Home Talk listeners. Someone
fantastic.
that is in our listening audience is going to have fun with our crew this Saturday.
It's such a good time.
Yes.
And, all right, so let's talk about the float.
The float.
What's the name of our float? We have a name, right? What
Well, the
is-
dragon has a name.
the dragon has a name.
That's right.
Yeah,
Rob?
what's Mr. Dragon's name?
Big Jim.
Big Jim.
Big Jim.
Big
yes.
Jim.
How did we come up with Big Jim?
Big Jim was named after one of our previous members, actually a fallen member.
Okay.
Yeah, he was such a big personality in the crew and such a great spirit until we decided to, as a crew, the Dirty Dozen, decided to name our dragon, our glorious dragon, after Jim. Yes.
So did he have a different name before? Or you don't know?
I don't think so. I don't think he's ever had a
He's
name.
never had a name.
He's always been known as Big Jim to me.
Yeah. So
I thought all of them named it. Like every crew I've ever had in the studio, they named their float. Whatever their icon or mascot or whatever
Yeah.
it is, it gets a name.
ours is Big Jim.
Okay. So Big Jim.
Big Jim blows fire, though.
He blows.
That's right.
Yeah.
He sure does. On the night parade.
Yeah.
So how much did it cost to build Big Jim? Do you know?
There is not it's a running cost. So there is not a specific cost, as most people know who are in crew life and those who don't. Big secret. There is continual maintenance on
I'm
all of
sure.
the floats.
Yeah.
So that cost is just a running tally of it just keeps going and going.
I'm one of
and
those
going.
weird people that notice that and float cleanup. I was like, our floors are like, we need a little bit of work
Yep.
here.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Literally, so when you're at the float this upcoming weekend, we've repainted the decks. We've updated our speaker
something.
system.
Very
It's constant change in maintenance to the float, which is something that we all enjoy. It's our icon. Is when you see Brigadoon on the parade route, you're going to see that glorious dragon, and how beautiful our float is, both the village and the castle.
I'll give you guys a fun fact. One of our clients, they actually bought their house this month. Their company builds the floats.
That's
Isn't that cool?
awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
It's a small little interconnected.
I believe
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Foam by Design, I believe, were the
I don't know
builders
the name
for
of
our
it.
float.
So how do you start with the float? You just have an open flatbed trailer, and then you go from there.
No, they start with somebody like you that does all the designs and planning to make sure that it's safe for people
Yeah.
to be on it, Mr. Engineer.
Yeah.
And then from there,
OSHA railings and everything.
yeah,
All of that
everything.
good
Like the
stuff.
city has to inspect these things.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes, they have to
Yes.
be safe.
That's in the insurance and the insurance and the certificates and all that good stuff. We are compliant to the T.
So it does. So what is the ongoing cost every year to like? What do we have in our budget to maintain the float? Do you know offhand? I know that's a rogue morning question.
Well, it depends on what initiatives we're doing with the float. So in previous years, we added we call it the cow plow to the side of the float, which allows members now to, instead of jumping on and off the float to refill their beads. We now have a trough on each side of the float for members they can drop their bead bags there, and while they're walking, if they run out, they can just reach in their bag and continue to throw beads instead of jumping on and off the float. I believe that was like maybe.
We call it a cow plow.
A
Shouldn't
cow
it be a
plow.
dragon plow? I'm just
Cow
saying.
plow, dragon
It's
plow.
far safer than jumping on and off the float.
Yes.
You've got
It also
50,
keeps
60
members
people.
away from the wheels.
That's
It
right.
keeps everyone safe.
Yeah.
So, and there's several different Gasparilla events coming up. So the first one is going to be the Children's Parade, which
That's
is
right.
Saturday the 20th from 12 to 7:30.
Yes.
And Pirate Fest runs on the 27th. So this is the big day. It's really 10 to 8. The Pirate Invasion happens from 11:30 to 1:30, where the cannons fire, and Flotilla
That's right.
will dock at the convention center around 1 p.m. when the mayor will surrender the booty. Oh, wait,
right.
the key
to the city. Yes. The key
Sorry,
to the
had to
city.
do it, Mr.
Absolutely.
Dadjo. And the Parade of Pirates will be from 2 to 6 p.m. It's a 4.5-mile route.
Is that all on the 27th?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
a marathon.
It's a big deal.
It's not a sprint.
So it's two separate parades that day.
That is correct. We have the Children's Parade on the
20th.
20th. And that kind of, it's a
fun parade.
It's a fun
Family
parade,
friendly.
family friendly. Bring your kids.
No alcohol.
No alcohol.
No
Dry
booby
parade.
swinging.
Of course
that
not.
kind
It's
of
a dry
stuff.
parade.
That's
Yeah. So yes, and it's a dry parade. Bring your kids, and let's have a fun-filled day with the kids on the 20th, and then on the 27th, it's like the Super Bowl of parades. It is the Gasparilla Day Parade, and that's where we get the most attendance. That's where the mayor we take over the city. That's where really the fun is. Yeah.
So a couple tips. If you are planning to attend Gasparilla, the city recommends that you park in Ybor and you take the trolley into downtown. Really,
That's a
really
smart
good
move.
tip.
They have a lot of garages over there.
Yep.
There's also wet zones where you can see that on the Tampa.gov site for the regular Gasparilla Night Parade, and they'll show like where you're allowed to legally drink on the streets and where you're not. It's a big map in red. And then we get this question a lot for newbies and visitors to our city: is what should people wear? So people wear anything from plain clothes to many of the patrons dress up like pirates. Yeah.
I would say you're going to get more beads if you dress up.
If you dress up, whatever it is to get
That's
attention,
right.
because you're going to be amongst a sea of
People.
millions of people or thousands of people out there along the parade route. Bright colors. If you know a crew's name,
Bring a sign.
Bring a sign.
sign.
I believe one of those epic signs was our security guy Mike. And she had a site that, like Mike's My Baby Daddy or something, and that was
That's
a hit.
right.
And and he has a picture that I think it's his background on Facebook to this day. He loves that picture.
So if you have a sign that says Crew of Brigadoon, and if you have a sign that also has my name or Tampa Home Talk, we're going to make sure our whole crew gives
Absolutely,
you guys an extra.
There you go.
absolutely.
So I would say
we're
the most
looking out for you.
Most important thing to wear, though, is comfortable walking shoes.
Oh, yes.
Whether or not you're going to be in a crew walking the 5.5, 6.5 miles, or you're just out there, out and about, because once you're in these zones, you have to walk to where you want to go. Like,
That's
if you
right.
think you're just going to get off the trolley stop and then set up camp and collect beads, you're mistaken. You've got to walk to find an inn to get close to the street.
Be early.
Yes.
Yes.
And again, it's a marathon. So
That's right.
again, you're going to be walking. Your feet are going to hurt. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. If you're going to be drinking, make sure that you're hydrating and you're taking care of yourself, and just be smart and safe for
Absolutely.
sure.
All right, so a couple of fun questions. I'll just go down the line. You can all answer one. Tracy, I'll give you the rogue question. What annoys you about Gasparilla fans?
I actually nothing.
There's not one thing that annoys you?
Well, when they bring little babies, that's the only thing that annoys
To
me.
the children's
To the
parade?
day
No, they do it to the day parade.
Oh,
sometimes.
no,
That's the
no,
only thing that
no.
annoys me because those children don't belong.
Well, you don't want them to
there.
get whacked in the head with beads or anything.
That
you
has
know?
a lot to do
They
with
created a
it.
children's parade for a reason.
I know, but they
right.
still bring
Yes.
children. So unfortunately, that's the only thing.
Well,
that
not
annoys
everyone
me.
can get a
Otherwise, I love
babysitter,
it.
though.
So
Then don't come.
do you know how my crews normally answer this question? You know what they usually say when people throw the beads back? That's usually what most people say.
Oh
They don't
no!
throw our beats back.
No, we got good beats.
We have great beats.
All right. So, what never goes unnoticed by you when looking at people in the crowd, Brent?
I I would say enthusiasm, right?
Absolutely.
And so again, like I'm looking for people who don't have enough beads. So those people who have rings and rings of beads on their necks, those are the people that I'm not throwing the beads to. It's going to be the people who maybe have been overlooked at that point. So I'm looking for you people who don't have a bead yet.
Well, but then you always have the smarty pants that has a bag on it.
There's an art. Yeah.
There is.
Exactly.
They all do it. So what about you? Is there anything that annoys you about Gasparilla?
Annoys me about the guest of Gasparilla.
Like anything just rude or rogue that you've seen, you're like, don't do that.
Well, not really annoying. I mean, it's in the midst of enthusiasm. I'm a walker. I'm down there next to the float with the mic, engaging with the crowd. I'm with the people, and every now and then I get too close. And they'll grab you. They will pull you in and try to either take a bead off your neck or pull a pin or kiss you or hug you. So like they get a little handsy out there. While it's not annoying. I mean, I appreciate the fun. I appreciate the enthusiasm. But the
look on your face while they grab me.
I prefer to stay on the street side of the float versus being pulled into the crowd. But
do not grab the kilt. Do not grab the men's kilt.
Oh yeah, that part. There's an ongoing
Everybody will be
curiosity.
surprised.
Yeah.
There is a kilt check thing that goes on.
There is, absolutely.
I'm not doing that.
I don't do it either.
We're a very traditional crew.
Exactly.
Yes. So, but needless to say, it's fun. Like the people out there, I mean, we appreciate your enthusiasm. I appreciate it. So while it is an annoyance, please don't grab me, but I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'll be out there with you, singing and dancing, giving you the mic. Let's have some fun. Just.
So a little bit of background on Gasparilla, right? So it's themed. The Gasparilla Festival was inspired by the legend of the pirate Jose Gaspar, who supposedly operated an off-west coast of Spanish Florida from 1780 to 1820. Gaspar supposedly fled to virtually uninhibited southwestern coast of Spanish Florida in the 1780s and established his pirate kingdom on Gasparilla Island in Charlotte Harbor, south of Tampa Bay.
None of that's true.
And they say, that Jose Gaspar is a myth, that it
He's a
wasn't
myth.
true. But that's the legend of Gasparilla. So Gasparilla Island has actually been developed into a resort in the town of Boca Grande. And the first written account of Jose Gaspar appeared in the early 1900s as part of an advertising brochure for the Gasparilla Inn in Boca Grande of Gasparilla Island. So the story of Jose Gasparilla, the last of the Buccaneers, who's said to have been terrorizing the Gulf of Mexico for more than 40 years. And Gasparilla actually means Gaspar the Outlaw. I don't know if you knew that. It's a little fun fact I pulled, and they said basically he bleached the bones of Gaspar's victims along with the many old coins has been discovered in the local Indian mound. So a couple little cool fun facts. So Gasparilla held its first parade in May of 1904. The first occurrence consisted of several dozen local businessmen disguising themselves as pirates, riding horses. 1904, remember?
And it was a Monday.
Through the town to stimulate and surprise the pirate invasion, encouraging startled observers to follow them for the May Day Festival. This is how this whole thing started. So the second Gasparilla of the following year was not a surprise, as every automobile owner in town was invited to join the mounted pirates in the parade. The pirate-themed festival was not held again until 1910, when it revived as part of the community celebration, marking the opening of the Panama Canal. And I'm running out of time.
813-377-2775. When we come back, we got listings, open houses, open invasions, and more history of the Gasparilla.
A little bit more Gasparilla, and then we'll squeeze the listings in the end.
So we got an open house we got to talk about.
And then we'll do a little bit of Gasparilla trivia when we come back.
Yeah, 813-377-2775. That's 813-377-2775. We'll also have to get an update on who won the tickets.
If we can get it from our crew, we'll be back. Stick around.
Welcome home. This is Leo Kane with Beryl Engineering and Inspection. We have even more people in the studio with us now because we have to do listings in addition to trivia. So I'm going to turn this back over to Kat because we have a lot to
Well, I
talk
want to
about.
finish the Gasparilla stuff really
Yeah,
quick.
the
I pulled all
trivia, the
these-
trivia.
Okay, we're going to do it. Hold on real quick. All right. So you missed it, Crew of Gasparilla. Commissioned $100,000 for Jose Gasparilla II, which was constructed from a 160-foot long steel barge. That one actually gets brought in by tugboat. So the current ship crossed Tampa Bay to lead every Gasparilla invasion since its launch in 1954, except for 1971 when it had bad weather and rough seas, where they canceled flotilla and also remember COVID or the couple. Never mind, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You're just wait a second. I got a question. All of this sounds like great trivia questions.
I do. I should have.
They sound like great trivia questions. You can turn those into trivia questions very easily.
Fine. All right.
Let's do it.
In what year did Gasparilla invasion first start in Tampa?
1904.
Oh, I didn't give you multiple choice, and you got it. Look
Oh,
at you.
well,
He just said it during the last segment. He's
I
been
know,
paying
but
attention.
that's pretty good. All right. So yearly, you missed it. Crew of Gasparilla takes a photo of the king and queen. In what year did the king and queens have their first color photo? Was it 1978, 1979, 1980, or 1981? Tracy.
You know we had color photos before that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go 78, only because we had color photos.
1980.
Oh, it was 80.
Wow.
Really?
Did we have color photos going all the way back to the 1950s?
In what year did Gasparilla change from the second Monday in February to Saturday?
You didn't mention that.
It was 1988, 1989, 1991, or 1992.
I said the answer in the last segment if you were paying attention.
1988.
1988.
Hey,
There you
all
go.
right, good deal.
All right. How many entities participate in Gasparilla? 99, 121, 143, or 158?
I know this. We are currently, for the day parade, we're number 71, and
That's
we're
right.
right dead in the middle. So I would say 140.
3, you're right.
Yes.
Good job.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
How many floats are in Gasparilla? 99, 103, 110, or 135?
I'm going to say the higher number, no?
I would lean towards a higher number.
Depends how old this trivia question is.
Yes.
It was just last year. It might be. It was one of
It's,
the
it's
last year.
dated.
Let's go 139.
All right. How many marching bands are in Gasparilla? 5, 11, 13, or 21?
13.
5.
5.
I was going to say the lower
I was
one,
gonna
too.
say 0 because I never hear them. I'm always too drunk at that point to hear them.
Those
how-
bombs are cannons.
How many different crews are in Gasparilla? 38, 52, 67, or 73?
I would say 73 because of the intercrew console.
Yeah, I would.
I had 52 last year. Could have been
Well,
updated. It was late. Went to the outline.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. That's enough trivia for the morning. What do you say? Yeah?
Sure.
A little bit of Gasparilla fun. Was good. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got some listings.
Wait, I had one more
Oh, you do?
statement. Yeah, there was a military parade. After it was over, they gave a big thank you.
Second little dad pun
That was good, that was
of
good.
the year.
Boom.
All right, look at Leo being a good short.
All right.
Sport sharing the mic this morning. We're a little tight. All right, take it away, Abby. What's the first listing you have we need to chat about before we run out of time this week?
Alrighty, our first listing is going to be our Exora Lane listing. It's 10636 Exora Lane, Port Richey. It's 2 bed, 2 bath. It's been on the radio a couple times. It's right on a river, right on a lake with the riparian rights, which means you can actually build the dock, all of that. I'm actually hosting an open there Sunday 2 to 4. So
That one's got a new price, right?
yeah, that was a price reduction. And honestly, I can't believe it hasn't sold. It's been on the air, and it's a beautiful home.
It is a great property.
And the next one is going to be our 415 Maple Circle in Oldsmar, Florida. It's our three bed, 1 bath, and it has a new roof, new AC, so that's good for expenses. And it's also nearby to a reserve that has sports facilities, dog park, and a marina. And it's in a cul-de-sac, so it's pretty private back there. It's nice.
And then, Maddie, you want to take the last one? I think her and I are going to be hosting this one Saturday before we make our way to the Dragon Party. This is a great property. It's actually on the Withlacoochee River.
Yes.
One of my past clients, I sold them the property. It's fantastic.
Yes, on Riverdale, 3506 Riverdale Drive in Dade City. That one is a 3 bed, 2 bath. As she said, it is right on the Withlacoochee, right?
Yep. The Withlacoochee River, it's built up, so the flood insurance is pretty low. Lots of parking under the house, so it's the still like Key West style house where you can park under. Really, really fantastic property. He built a little, on the underside, outside, he built a little like ballet area for his daughter, but a person could use that for like wrestling, working out. It could be you could put a small band on there. It's a cool little place.
Endless opportunities.
Lots of entertainment areas at this house. That's only $400,000 that's on the water, y'all, for an acre.
Yeah, no HOA, little over 2,200 square foot. And then the next one we have is in Cape Coral, 226 Northeast 10th Avenue, 3-bed, 2-bath. This one is on. It's really nice. It's listed for $315, and it's been on the market a little while. I don't.
That
know.
one's got a new price and it's ready to go. Like remember that area got hit pretty hard by the hurricane, so it's a little different down there.
But it's a nice area. It is a really nice area.
Well, it's thanks for sharing those, girls. We have some of those we held open this weekend, right? Like Azora's open and Riverdale's open. Anything else?
I think that's it for this weekend. If anything lasts next weekend, we'll do other open houses. But
all right. Well, as we wrap up the last few minutes, any final words from the crew of Brigadoon about Gasparilla or Dragon Party?
Do we want to do our toast?
No pressure.
Well,
You don't need to drink.
well, before we do, let's mention Dragon Party.
Yeah, Dragon Party. So Dragon Party is going to be this Saturday. It's going to start at 7:30, 7. And so feel free to go out to the Crew Brigadoon public page. It's going to be posted there, so you'll be able to go buy your tickets. Again, if you don't want to go or you know somebody that does want to go, feel free to mention it to them.
We may still have those 2 tickets available for Tampa Home Talk, too. So
There you go.
813-377-2775.
2 tickets. That's right. And then I will talk to the Dragon Party chair, and we will make sure that we get 2 shirts, whoever gets those 2 tickets, so they can get some Dragon Party shirts as well.
I love
as
that.
a throw into that some swag.
Absolutely.
So I got voluntold that I'm selling the 50-50 raffle
you'll be
tickets.
fine.
What am I pimping out? What am I doing?
So you're actually pimping out the Dragon Party chair, and you'll be using his arms because he's got a wide wingspan. So they'll be able to get extra 50-50 raffle tickets.
All right. So bring some cash.
Yeah, bring cash. Cash.
Absolutely.
All right.
Cash is king.
Let's
we
do
want
our
to toast
chant.
out. All right.
Toasting out.
Raise your glass.
My pen.
In
Days of old, when knights were bold, and dragons they did fly, from a highland moon came Brigadoon, and bees now fill the sky.
We will see you guys for Gasparilla really soon. We'll see you at Dragon Party this Saturday, and we'll see you next week on Tampa Home Talk, same time, 9 a.m. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and smash that YouTube button as Leo loves to say.
Subscribe.
This is Tampa Home Talk. Thanks so much for joining us. We've had a blast with you guys. We'll be back next week. Remember, love where you live, or we'll fix it. Welcome home.